Hello, lovely. Julita Harvey here. I am sharing with you something that I came across recently. A new book's coming out really soon. 100 Days of Reflecting on God's Love by Amy Seiffert, called Grace Looks Amazing on You. I write about body image. That's why most of you are here, because you want to hear what God's truth is about how we really think about our bodies, how we begin to really see ourselves based on how God desires for us to see ourselves. So, of course, Grace Looks Amazing on You caught my attention. And I just want to tell you that this book, it gets better and better and better with every read. The first few reads definitely caught my attention, not only because of Amy's ability to describe things well and bring a vision in your mind to the scene that she's trying to create to help you really see what God wants you to believe about who you are, and that His grace does change the way that we operate and change the way that we see each other and even ourselves. But I also want you to hear one of my favorite reads. It's almost smack dab in the middle, called Grace and Grit, chapter 43. And it's about Deborah the prophetess, who is a prophet in the time of Judges 4, but her husband is not. And so, of course, she's living in something called basically a man's world. And yet she does have a very special call on her life that she has been called to fulfill. And I want to read you just a little excerpt from it. So some of you are standing in Deborah's shoes. You're a woman in a man's world, living your calling and using your gifts as best as you can. You may be leading, pioneering, developing places that only men have touched. Keep going. Your heart is key. Are you listening to God for the decision making? Are you seeking Him in the midst of your emotions and loud laments? Isn't that a great question for right now? Clearly, Deborah's spirit was pleasing to God, and God honored her, and He put her in a prominent position of leadership. She, along with other women in the Bible like Miriam, Esther, who helped save a nation, the Samaritan woman who used her abilities and call to proclaim all that she had learned from Jesus to the men that were around her. These women had grit, but more than anything, they were determined and still were able to have a humble spirit and live basically bathed in the grace of God. So I just think that is so poignant and really important right now, as many of us are at home and kind of twiddling our thumbs, maybe thinking about, like, what do I do? How can I be of influence? How can I help? And I think this book offers us not only comfort where we are right now, but it also offers us an invitation to dream, to boldly go and plan and pursue where God has called us, what that special place in our life is, and to trust that His grace is going to cover us through the whole process of pursuit. So anyway, I'm so glad that you joined me today. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.